Hey, what's up, guys? So today I want to show you guys an updated video. This video will be a little lengthy, but what I want to do is that at the end of every month, I want to do an update video of what have I planted, what has come out, and what is to come, the new stuff, the older stuff, and everything in between. So today's video is going to be a little lengthy, but come along with me and I'm going to show you every single bed that I have. Okay, so I think that I should also introduce every bed because every bed has its own purpose right now. As you could see, like I told you guys, the carrot bed has its own purpose because that is only suitable for carrots because of the fact that they need to grow down. And so let me introduce you to bed number one. So bed number one, um, it's an all-purpose flower bed. That was the purpose of this bed, to just put flowers. But in front of me, I do have ginger though. So right now, I have ginger. I never grown ginger, and I don't know when it's ready. I've seen people pull it out when it's like this, dry, but I looked underneath and it still hasn't really developed any big roots. So I'm gonna leave it there for a little longer. Now, as you guys can see behind me, there is some fallen over sunflowers, and that was due to a storm that we had like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It just completely flipped over all my flowers. And as you can see, well, as you will see over there, I have a banana plant, and it tilted over one of my trellises and it just completely broke a lot of the leaves. But I'll show you guys that in a little bit. So bed number two, right here, we have Hikama. Hikama is an underground, I will call it a root vegetable. It grows similar to the carrots, where they all grow underground. And yes, I have I have peeped a little bit. That's the way to see if it's actually growing. It won't hurt or anything. But this is jicama, a root vegetable fruit kind of thing. I personally don't eat it, but my family does eat it. They enjoy it. It's I will say it's crispy and watery. Crispy like a radish, and watery uh like if you would, when you cut a potato and you see how it's like glazy. That's how it looks, but it doesn't taste like potato. It has a totally different flavor. So these, you have to plant them in the mid November, December, because if you plant it during our spring, it would just vine. It's The plant is technically a vine. I'll make a whole video about it later on. And let me show you the other two beds. The next two beds, as you guys can remember, the first bed in front is cilantro, purely cilantro, and right next to it, It's another bed of cilantro. I started about 3 weeks ago. I have gone through them, I've thinned them and everything. But as you guys can remember, the second part, the back part of this bed, it's onions. Now, as you guys have seen in the previous video, 3 different varieties. Texas Early. I forgot the other 2 varieties, but it's 1 variety, 2 varieties, 3 varieties, and I have, I did went ahead and planted the other ones that I started in the video, and so I like doing that. I like succession planting, doing one crop and then a month later another cropping of the same crop. But back to the cilantro. This cilantro, it's coming to its end. It already gave me 3 croppings, so I want to just clear the whole front of the bed, give it about a month of rest, and then plant a little more cilantro so I could have throughout at least close to June. That's pushing it though. And then let me show you guys the carrots. Now remember that I left a few of the carrots. I left a few of the carrots for them to keep growing, right? A few of them have been growing. They're pretty decent size. This one's good, but let me see if I can find a good one. Like I told you guys, I was gonna leave them. Oh, look. So this is gonna stay carrots. I'm gonna do some more carrots after I pick these. In maybe 2 weeks, I'm gonna fully take everything out. The back part, it's gonna be for another project that it's a whole separate video that I'm thinking about. But carrots should be out in about 2 weeks. So on the next update video, you guys might just see little carrots here. In front of me, more cilantro. But remember that I left a couple for them to keep growing. And it actually worked. Look. I did get short varieties. Next year, next growing season, I want to try the long variety. Again, with the short varieties next to it, but I want to try long variety to see how much my soil has been built up. And do I have another one? No. They're still small, on the smaller side. They still have a little bit to grow. So I'm not gonna mess with them a little more. I would say the last bets are fairly quick and simple. In advance, guys, I do want to apologize for the wind, if there is any wind noise going through the mic. It is a very windy day, but it is the only day that I'm able to record. Alright, so this next bed, these are bunching onions. They don't swell up, but I had success with these last season, and so I took all my knowledge from what I did with these and I put them on the regular onions. So planted it, planted everything about the same time that I did last year, last season, and did everything. The only difference is that it was a lot hotter this season than it was last season, so I don't know how it's gonna affect them. But they're growing pretty good. They're growing about the same as last year, so I shouldn't have any problems. Behind me, like I said, more carrots because this bed and that bed is the only ones that I could grow carrots. I planted them heavy, and then I did thin them. Thinning is the process of going through and like picking the strongest one, so the other one could have a little more room to grow. Behind me are two different kinds of tomatoes. Never grew them before, but I want to try them now. They have been neglected a little more than I would have liked. It was not on purpose, but I have not put as much care on them as I have put on everything else. But they would they will start getting a little more care because they're bearing me a lot of fruit. Let's go over to the next two final beds. Pretty simple, and we'll be done. For my last two beds, I'm just gonna show you guys like this. I have two serrano peppers, and chili pepper. That's what it's literally called, chili pepper on the tag. So this is they have been in the ground for about 5 months already. Had a lot of cropping, and they're actually doing pretty good. And let me take you over to my final. Oh, actually, before that, let me show you something. So, as you guys remember, I went to go get the mulch, the pile, and the bottom part of this three beds is completely mulch. If you guys could see the difference between these beds and these beds, the height wise, that's how much I want to raise all these beds. When I told you guys that I want to raise it about six more inches, that is the purpose. That is the goal. Again, I apologize for the wind if there's any wind bleeding through the mic. Now, if you guys remember, these trellises used to be here, right there, but I noticed that they will shade out a lot of my back plants. It's not bad, but they also need some sun. So I decided to make these beds, and when I made these beds, I decided to throw them back there. So that will be their permanent position for those trellises. And I made a smaller bed for my banana plants, and I got two extra plants back there. I went back to my old job and I was able to get two more plants. But as you guys can see, that's what I did with the other mulch that I went to buy, and I'm pretty much halfway done with this batch of mulch that they gave me. Pretty satisfied. But yeah, guys, that's this part of the garden. I'm gonna go show you two more parts of the house. One extra garden bed that I did in the front yard, and my shading area. So let's go over there. This bed right here, this is a 2 week old bed that one day on my day off, I just didn't have anything to do. I try to do this before, if you guys will go to my Instagram page, you guys see that I laid down some cardboard, I threw some dirt on top, and then just try to mulch it around. But the grass was too vigorous, and it literally just took over the whole bed. I left it for about half a year, but now that I have some cinder blocks, I decided to throw some mulch in there, let it rest, let it decompose, and it's gonna be nothing but a flower bed. Maybe I add a couple here and there vining vegetables, but I still don't know about that one. Let me go show you the other part. For the final part, I'm bringing you over to my shade area. I like calling my shade area because I have one big avocado tree here and one big mamey area here. And we took this area, I did mulch it with the same mulch that I got. I have spread mulch everywhere all around my house, but I did do a thick layer of mulch here also, about 2 inches. I have some elephant ears. I have some heart plant that my sister-in-law put there. Passion fruit vine that is neglected. There is some orchids back there that they were neglected, not by me, but I kind of set up the whole irrigation system for them to grow better. I have some Monstera Deliciosa there, and back there. And last but not least, I have the Pink Princess. The idea for the Pink Princess is that it will be on the ground and it will start climbing up, and maybe, hopefully, I could get some propagations out of it, or I'll just let it run wild. That's the idea. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for this area. Also, I do want to make a irrigation system video, but that's a whole different video on its own because it's lengthy. Alright, so I wanted to end this video here in the shade area. I thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and the notification bell. I'll catch you guys on the next one.